Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Join us each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon for Youth Football 101 with Tank Perry of the Nebraska Red Wolves of 7-on-7 football. The future of the sport depends on the foundation set at a young age. Hear those stories and more each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Nobody goes to McDonald's more than you. Nobody.
No,
every meal,
I
every call. I mean,
don't go
every meal.
every morning you're there.
Every morning goes to
every
McDonald's
single
every day.
I do it. Oh, I go every day.
Is it?
Yeah,
How many
that's what I
times?
mean. That's a lot.
How many? I mean, sometimes
I'm
twice
saying
a
in
day.
the next year I go 9 times. I
That's
go
high
9.
for me. I'm not going 9
Oh,
times
I mean,
to
7
McDonald's.
times
Yeah.
a week. 7
Yeah.
times a week.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of
Every
times
day.
though. But you go more than once a day.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm telling you. So it's
But I just
500.
get coffee.
But you go 500 times a year. That's a lot. Of times a year. The most I'm at is 9. I'm at 9. Jake's at 4, and you're at 500.
I say 4 to 5 for myself.
So, I said 9. You said 500.
Put it that way.
It is. Just do the math.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. Live from the heart of Lincoln, America. Welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to In the Trenches with myself and Harrison on the board and a very, very special guest, former Husker, former Oregon Duck, Casey Rogers.
What's going on? What's happening?
How you doing? How you doing?
Good, man. It's good to be back in Lincoln.
Okay, I know you just drove back from Oregon.
Yeah.
How's that been? How was that drive?
It was 24 hours. My wife and I broke it up in
The wife.
yeah, the wife.
The update too.
Shout out to the wife. Maya Rogers has a nice ring to it. But we broke it up into 2 days. The state of Oregon, there's not a highway that goes east to west, so you kind of have to go back windy mountain roads until you get to Idaho, and that's about 6 hours. So that was fun. And once you get to Idaho, it's all highway. But yeah, 2 days, 12 hours each. It was a grind, but when I saw Memorial Stadium in the horizon pulling into Lincoln, I got that feeling. So it's good to be back.
So
See Lincoln again.
You left in 20
I left before the 2022 season.
before the 2022 season. So you were at Oregon for 2 years.
Yes, sir.
How different is Big Ten football to Pac-12 football? Pac-12?
Rip the pack. It's
yeah.
no
Well,
longer.
former Pac-12, but
I mean, there's different things, in every league that you really play in. But I think the first thing I noticed was just the size of the people, and especially up front. I think the one big thing I noticed was in the pack. There was a lot for at least the D line. There was a lot of running side to side. There wasn't a lot of inside run. I mean, you still get it, but it's not as a Pac-12 team is not going to come into a game trying to run the ball down your throat every game. So that was a big difference. And then just like, speed, there's a lot of fast kids on the outside on playing receiver and playing running back. And, it's just a more grittier style of football in the Big Ten. I really liked playing in the Big Ten. I liked playing in the Pac-2, but the main difference was just, I would say, the size and the type of football, the type of running that you get. Yeah.
Right. Did you do you wish you had another year to play? Because since Oregon is now in the Big Ten as well.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been cool just to be able to be there for that experience of a team going into a new conference. But also, I played 6 years, so I had my fair share of college, and I don't regret anything, and I think I did what I could to put myself in a good position. So. But yeah, it's going to be real fun to watch.
Yeah.
I have the calendar circled for when Oregon plays Nebraska. I think it's like 2026 and 2027.
Yeah.
I'll be at both those games. So, it'll be fun. I get to go to a game, and whatever team wins, I get to cheer for both. So it'll be fun. I've never had that experience ever. So
So
cool.
I know we had talked about it because for everybody that didn't know, Casey went to the Hula Bowl as well. So we talked quite a bit there too. But we had talked about it a little bit about like you leaving here and going to Oregon. How like I know that had to be a hard decision. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just
it was definitely hard. I spent 4 years here. I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears here. You know, everywhere I go, I still bleed scarlet and cream. You know,
mhm,
it just I would have never left without putting in 4 years. When I committed to Coach Frost, I told
yeah,
him that. So I'm gonna give you 4 years, and I'm gonna give you everything I have. You know, I didn't know what would happen after 4 years, whether it would be playing in the NFL or
right,
look what happened transferring. But yeah, I mean, when I left Lincoln, a piece of me stayed. You know, a piece of Lincoln stayed in my heart, and
yeah,
a piece of me stayed in Lincoln too. So, um, you know, every game I watched you guys. You know, I had a Nebraska hat that I would wear around
yeah,
Eugene whenever you guys would play, and if I could, if our games didn't match up, I would, I'd spend the time at home watching you guys. You know, it was kind of hard being a fan from a distance,
right,
but yeah, no. The first thing I did when I got there was hung up my Nebraska jerseys on my wall, and you know I had a lot of pride. Every game I'd actually write HP on my arm,
yep. I saw that. I
which
saw that.
was Husker power, just
That's good
because
power.
I was developed here. You know, I
Yeah,
wouldn't have been where I was without the Nebraska football, without Coach Duval and all those guys who are here. So, um, really hard decision. You know, loved Lincoln. My wife and I are obviously back. We loved it that much.
right.
We could have gone anywhere, but Lincoln is just a place where we want to be, and it's cool. We get to my wife's sister Hannah goes to school out here now, so we got to
Hmm.
come back. We're actually staying with her and some family friends. So, um, you know, just to be back and see everything, see all the new facilities and stuff like
Yeah.
that, just to walk around those hallways again. It's fun. You know, I had a fun. I don't regret anything. You know, so I absolutely loved my time here in Lincoln, and wouldn't give it up for the world.
Hell yeah. So I had a train of thought. I lost it. I lost
Yeah,
it.
it happens.
It's common.
It's gonna happen
Yeah.
to linemen here and there. Yeah.
Casey and I had our fair share of going against each other for
Yep.
2 years, I think, when I first got because you got to college in 2018,
Yeah.
right?
I was.
Yeah. So I got here 2020, so we had 2 years together. And Casey and I have very similar personalities. We like to talk.
Definitely like
I,
to
I
talk.
I think it's hurt us a couple times here and there from coaches and other teammates telling us to shut up. But
It's all right.
huh?
I said it's all right.
It's all right. It's all right. Always. Always.
They'll notice the silence when
Exactly.
we're gone.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
and we'll be having the time of our lives somewhere else, talking to who knows who. But that's how we are.
So I know like you said, your wife.
Mhm.
How was that experience being able to do like the engagement
Yeah.
on the field with your teammates?
Yeah, it was really special. You know, I think when I got into college, I started dating Maya when we were in high school when I was a senior, and knew pretty fast that she was going to be the girl that I wanted to be spend the rest of my life with. You know, going to college, she came with me, and we kind of had she picked her life up and came out here, and she graduated from here. You know, I always had the plan. I wanted to propose to before I even met Maya. I wanted to propose to whoever I was going to marry on a football field or on a field. And so I had that idea, and then just kind of going through college, going through like playing here, like I didn't really know like where I was going to be in my last game, and obviously I ended up at Oregon. So the last game of the year, it was against our rival Oregon State, and that's kind of like very similar to the Iowa Nebraska
Hmm.
rivalry. And so I had it all planned out. I kind of told her I was like, it's not going to happen until I get to the NFL. Like I was kind of trying to get her not to
Right.
expect it. It was my second senior night. I got lucky. I got two of those. So second senior night, her whole family was out there. My whole family was out there, and I talked to some of our the people who work for our team, and it was like kind of our photographers, a couple of our assistants, and like just told them what the plan was, and they actually helped out a ton. Like they kind of set it all up really
Mhm.
because like we had pictures up on the jumbotron up in Austin, and like shout out to Skis Brewery. They really helped out too. Like if you guys are ever looking for a brewer in Eugene, Oregon, Skis, let's go. I know I don't
If
have
you're
that
ever
much
in
pull
Eugene,
here,
Oregon.
but if you're ever up there, you never know. I mean, now that they're in the Big Ten,
Right,
there will
right.
be some Husker fans
Right.
up there soon. So check out the local brewery store. But yeah, no, and so after the game, I knew I wanted to do it. Then I went down. Everyone can come on the field after the game, and we were just sitting around, and we went to walk up the stage. We went to walk up the ramp, and our team photographer was like, "Hey, we need your family out on field for one more picture." Stage, and we walked back down the ramp, and when we got out on the field, there was a bunch of pictures of us, and she was like, "Oh, that's nice. I'm gonna do that for every senior." And then I was like, "Just keep watching." And then the next one was me and a Nebraska, and she then realized it, and the tears started flowing. And it was I don't like we walked from the end zone to the 50-yard line, and it was like the quick, or I just don't remember. Like I remember what I said, but like I just like everything else around me was just, I don't
Yeah.
remember. Like, I just blacked out, and it was a really cool. Once we got to the O, the O in the middle of the field is just like the N here. Like there's a lot of pride around that logo, and um, I got down one knee, and of course she said, yes, she's been waiting 8 years for that. So she was like about time, but no, she was so excited, and then we got engaged, and after that, I was just like, what are we really waiting for? We're gonna have some chaos in our life in the next couple of years with the NFL, and I was like, I would rather have you as my wife than my fiance, and she was all for it. We called our parents, and they were all cool with us going to Giddy Loved, and we went out to the coast in Oregon called
Yeah, I saw
Hasita
that.
Point, which is, have you ever seen the Goonies? The Oregon coast is famous for that movie, The Goonies, because that's where that is. There's mountains, it's basically where the mountains meet the sea. And we went to like the Walmart brand version of Cannon Beach, which is like Hasita Point in Florence, Oregon. But it was like a musty, rainy day, but it was really cool. It was really unique.
Yeah.
Our team chaplain, who I'm really close with, was the one who married us. So it was really cool. The Remington Award winner was my best man, Jackson Powers Johnson. He actually, while I was reading my vows, I started hearing someone cry, and I turned around and he was bawling his eyes out. So
shout out to him.
Shout out to Jackson and his soft heart. And but yeah, it was really cool. It was just really like a special, unique situation that that we're completely blessed for. I think it would have been cool no matter where we were, but I mean, just be able. I mean, obviously she's been such an important part of my journey in the football world and in life in general. So to be able to marry my best friend was something really special, and to be able to propose on a football field, which obviously is another huge part of my life, is
Right.
the capstone. So but yeah, now we're happily married, and she's a Mrs. Rogers. So
Hell yeah.
locked it down.
Hell yeah,
baby.
congratulations to that.
Thank you.
I know you probably miss a lot what is it called? What's the other sport called?
Lacrosse.
The lacrosse, yes.
Yeah,
I
there's
know.
not
I know
much
you miss.
lacrosse in Germany.
I've never heard of it until you brought it up.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, but I know you missed it a lot. I saw that video of you and Jackson.
Yeah.
How did that come around?
Yeah. So I mean, for people who don't know, I was a pretty big lacrosse player in high
Mhm.
school. I was actually committed to play college lacrosse in high school, and coming to Nebraska, the lacrosse just isn't that big out here.
Mhm.
It's growing, but like going out to Oregon, it's actually kind of a hot spot in the country right now, which is very weird because it's kind of a random spot for it. But there's a lot of good lacrosse being played up there, and after the season, when I was training in Denver, I was actually playing lacrosse to
Really?
stay in shape. Yeah, so I started talking to a lot of the club team guys there. Like, they saw I was playing lacrosse, and I was just like, hey, we gotta do it. I want to do it because at Oregon, with the tradition of how many uniforms we have, it's like a very big thing for each team to do a jersey reveal every game, and the lacrosse team does one every game. And I was like, hey, let me get it all suited up and do a jersey reveal for you guys. And Jackson just kind of had to be with me. Jackson and I do a lot of fun things together, so Jackson was like, yeah, let me do it. I've never played lacrosse in my life, but I want to do it. And so he kind of did. They were like, yeah, let's do it. You can pick what jersey. So we picked it out, and we're like, let's like do a football / lacrosse collab and do it in Austin. And so we went into Austin Stadium. And they took the photos, and we're like, let's make a fun video out of it. Like, whatever, it's people are gonna think we're playing in the game if we do just pictures. So we put together a fun video of Jackson trying lacrosse for the first time, and it was a good time. But yeah, no, it's been really cool to kind of like this past couple months, especially training. My agent Peter Schaefer is a big lacrosse guy. He has a lot of pull in the lacrosse world. So I was actually training with a couple of the PLL's best players in Denver. So it was pretty cool to kind of be dipped back into the lacrosse world for a little bit. It's a small world, but it's a tight community. So it was pretty cool just to see some faces that I grew up around. And And just to, meet, when I was in Denver, I went to this gala, which is like, it's called City Lax, which is like a big program for lower income families, so their
Mhm.
kids can play lacrosse. And some of my idols when I was a kid were there, just like, Casey Powell, who I was named after, some big lacrosse names. But yeah, it was just cool to be kind of dipped back into that culture
Mhm.
for a little bit. It's something I miss. My dad's obviously a coach, so
I was going to ask about that.
I grew up around that culture, and kind of was away from it for about 6-7 years, and now kind of got put into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of lacrosse players that have the ability to play in the NFL, so kind of representing a sport out there, and I take a lot of pride in that, being a lacrosse player, playing football, and having the ability to play professional football. So I know there's a lot of lacrosse fans out there who are watching, so I can't let them down.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, pretty rough.
I love that. I love that. Okay. So I'm sorry. You talk a lot about about Jackson. How did that happen? Because I mean, it doesn't really
Yeah.
often happen that a D lineman becomes best friends with
Oh.
offensive lineman.
It's like almost impossible. If someone's like, I have to describe Jackson Powers Johnson to a new fan base. This is interesting. So
I'm sure it's not a new fan base.
no,
He's
Jackson,
the best center there is.
Jackson and I kind of became friends pretty quick when I moved into Eugene. Actually, the first thing we ever did was a bunch of our teammates we have a river, the Willamette River, it flows right through Eugene, and a big thing in the summer is to get a raft and float down it.
Mhm.
It's fun to do when it's hot. And Jackson, Maya, and I somehow we ended up with Jackson. We were like, let's go to Walmart real quick and buy a raft. And so we get into Walmart, and there's like these little tubes, and we're like, let's buy a boat. So we find this raft, and we buy the raft, and we buy oars, and we're like, oh, we're going whitewater raft. This river is like the slowest flowing river
Yeah.
ever. So it's like not
Lazy
even a
river.
thing. And we buy it, and then we have a Sharpie. We name it the USS Fat Boys. And it was its maiden voyage, and it made it like 4 miles down the river. And we got out, and it took a couple more trips after that. Sadly, the USS Fat Boys did not make the last journey. It hit a rock, and the rock was a little bit more stronger than the boat. So rip the USS Fat Boys. But yeah, no, Jackson's a great kid. He's a really hard worker. He's probably he's one of the strongest kids I've ever played against. And that's kind of what made the difference with him was, he's once he gets his hands on you, they're not coming off. And obviously the success he's had. He was here in Lincoln. He won the Remington Award. So he had nothing bad. He loved it, his time here in Lincoln. He said, man, like that's such a great city to go to college. And he thought everyone was, the hospitality here is unbelievable. And that's something I pray. Like, I tell him all the time, like, yeah, man, like the difference between the Lincoln, Nebraska and the rest of the world is just the people, the community and the support that, they just give. You could be coming in from a rivalry team and the people here will still treat you like family.
Yeah.
So that's pretty special. Like when people say there is no place like Nebraska, like it's getting cliche, but there really is no place.
100%.
So
100%.
it's he's a great friend of mine. He's gonna go first round hopefully, and I'm gonna try to get him to a Nebraska game just so he can see it, see the stadium full and see how special those games really are.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah,
that's
no,
sick
he's a
that you
great
got to
kid.
see like this side of you.
He's
too.
a great kid. Like we were lifting partners, and he really only had 1 year of starting. So like, just to kind of see like, and the other thing about Jackson and I is how competitive we are with each other.
Mhm.
We had this thing called the match where we literally played like 4 different sports. We played golf, bowling, trivia. We did everything we do. We're competing against each other, and that's kind of what made us such good friends. It's like we had a mutual respect that we wanted to beat each other's butt and everything we did. And then like during spring ball and fall camp, like our coaches just loved to watch us go against each other because
Mhm.
like we would just kill each other for no reason, and then walk off the field and hug and laugh and be
Right.
joking around with each other like 10 minutes after. But I mean, there was times where we wanted to strangle each other, but like it got to the point where we just would start laughing at each other.
Right.
We got one got mad at the other. It was like, all right, dude, like, you might beat me that right, but I'll still whip your butt in golf. So it's fun. But yeah, Jackson's my guy. He was, like I said, he was the best man at my wedding, and he's a lifelong friend. He's gonna have a great NFL career. Someone's getting a good one when they draft him.
100%. He's one of the best centers I've seen play.
Yeah, no,
Phenomenal center.
He's a technician, that's for sure.
So you went to Oregon. Obviously, Coach T was there.
Yeah.
Did that play a big role in you going over there?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was really nice when I went into the portal. Like he already knew who I was. I didn't have to really worry about getting to know a new coach. He hit me up a couple days after I went in the portal and was like, Oregon Oregon wants you. And I think that was a really easy decision. It was someone I played for 4 years before that. Is someone like I was really close with. You know, I coached Tatum when COVID hit. When I got the job at a D-line job at Southeast High School, like Tatum was a sophomore and I was coaching him. And then I was really close with his whole family really at that point. So to go to Oregon, you know, and it's not just Oregon, it's not just Coach T that was there. It was Tony Washington Jr., who was our GA in 21, and then Kamaragi, who was an analyst.
Yeah, he
I've watched
promoted
him
too, right?
I've watched him become an equipment. You want to talk about like a hard worker who started in Nebraska. Coach Kamaragi, he started as an equipment manager and now he's a position coach in Oregon. Like he just made his way climb. Like, dude's an elite person. He's like the hardest worker I've ever met.
I remember that.
I don't know what his official job title is, but I know he's doing a great job at Oregon with just everything he does. He's a phenomenal coach. And
because he helped you guys out a lot here, right?
He started his career as a coach. Like he really came from Arizona and he was just a student manager. He was an equipment manager. Yeah. And he worked with a D-line. And Coach T basically put him under his wing and taught him everything he knew. And Cam is now rocking at Oregon. He's probably one of the most crucial members on that staff. So and then Darian Daniels, our grad transfer who came in 2019 is now the GA.
Really?
At Oregon too. So there's a ton of Nebraska connections there. You know, I mean, obviously Coach Frost was at Oregon too. So you know, Coach Greg Austin was there, Chinander was there. Like there's so many connections with Oregon and Nebraska. So that was always cool to be able to go to a school and people know who I was talking about.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. We'll be right back for another. The next one is the short segment.
Do you got a name for it yet?
Nope. I will figure that out in the break. We're going to go into break. This is In the Trenches with myself, Harrison on the board, and our special guest, Casey Rogers.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
High schoolers, unleash your creativity and learn about potential careers in broadcasting at the Digital Expressions Media Camp. Have fun, make friends, and get hands-on experience with video and radio production June 9th through the 14th at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Scholarships are available from the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and spots are limited. Learn more at digitalexpressionscamp.com. That's digitalexpressionscamp.com.
Do you need motivation to get to the gym on the weekend or even in general? Tune into the Movement Hour each Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. Movement Academy owner Robert Kuhlman will host the show as he introduces new ways to stay in shape. The Movement Hour every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Nobody goes to McDonald's more than you. Nobody.
No,
every meal,
I agree
every
with that.
call. I mean,
Don't go
every meal.
Every morning you're there.
Every morning goes to
Every
McDonald's
single
every day.
I do it. Oh, I go every day.
Is it?
Yeah,
How many
that's what I
times?
mean. That's a lot.
How many? Sometimes
I'm
twice
saying
a
in
day.
the next year I go 9 times. I
That's
go
high
9.
for me. I'm not going 9
Oh,
times
I mean
to
7
McDonald's.
times
Yeah.
a week. 7
Yeah.
times a week.
That's what I mean.
Yes,
But there's a lot of
every
times
day.
though, but you go more than once a day.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, so I'm telling you. So it's
But I just
500.
get coffee.
But you go 500 times a year. That's a lot. 500 times a year. The most I'm at is 9. I'm at 9. Jake's at 4, and you're at 500.
I say 4 to 5 for myself.
So I said 9. You said 500.
Put it that way.
It is. Just do the math.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to In the Trenches with myself, Harrison, on the board, and our special guest, Casey Rogers. We have a name. We have a name.
Wheels were turning.
Oh
They're
my God, I was
great.
thinking. We were thinking here. The Oklahoma drill. Calling it that for now. For now. It's the Oklahoma drill. It's quick questions, pretty much. What's your favorite movie?
Whew. Oh, dang. Geez.
By the way, we don't prepare
Yeah,
people
you
during
didn't
the
prep me
break.
at all.
This is quick.
Favorite movie, 300.
Oh, great movie.
Yeah,
Great movie. Great quotes out of that movie too.
Or Gladiator.
Same thing. Great movie too.
Big.
Great.
I'm down for 300. That is an all-time favorite.
Yeah.
Movie.
The United.
Why?
Oh, no,
that's
You got
Gladiator.
them mixed around.
Got
Yeah.
it, yeah. Oh,
Let's
oops.
just spark
No,
to 300.
Obviously,
No,
that's my favorite movie.
Leonidas
is
300.
Yeah.
And then Gladius Maximus is the other one. Why is that your favorite movie?
Who doesn't love the underdog story of 300 men tearing apart an entire empire?
Hell yeah. Hell
With
yeah.
blood and guts everywhere. And yeah.
When was the last time you've seen that?
But during the year, we went to
Just in general,
Yeah,
right.
during the season, actually, we went to a game. We go to the movies like we did here,
Mhm.
and that played. That was one of the movies.
That's pretty sick. That's
Yeah,
pretty sick.
actually, we had like a theme of the week. Each week we had a theme, and for one of them, it was like it all went back to when the Greeks were on top of the I think they were Greeks on top. They were on top of the mountain with the Spartans, and they were like, what are you, they had a bunch of guys that were, we want to help you with this battle, and the Spartan guy was like, we have like 300 warriors. Like, what is your profession?
Oh,
and the one
yeah,
guy's
yeah.
I'm a sculptor. The other one was like, I'm a bricklayer, and then the other one, and then he was like, Spartans, what are your profession? And they were like, that's their job, is their like be a warrior. You know what I mean? Don't be anything else, and try to be a warrior on the weekend. Be a warrior.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. Well, that was a very quick one.
We
That
got
was
some good suggestions though. I want to run these by you. From TMZ, short section could be called the red zone, or the 2-minute drill.
Ooh,
There's only one question.
or fourth and short.
Yeah, it's like it's just that's it. Those are the three.
I was
That's what I'm
like
saying. It's
getting
very
ready
quick.
to get like smacked.
No,
or
it's very
something.
it's very quick. It's very quick. Couple questions. That's good.
Yeah,
Big,
which one?
big red tape. I'm just. Here we go.
The red zone. I like the red zone.
Red zone was sick.
Red
zone's sick.
2-minute drills.
Fourth and short.
Fourth and short. Yeah.
I like that. 2-minute drill. I like that too.
Mhm.
2-minute drill is pretty good.
Those are good suggestions.
Yeah.
402-464-5685. Starter Heyman text line as always. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Allo channel 961. You guys can keep putting in your suggestions. You got anything else? Do you want to throw at the break?
No, that's it.
All right.
That was quick. That was a quick one.
Yeah.
All right, we're going back into break, and then we got our last segment with our special guest,
This is Sparta.
Casey Rogers.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Nobody goes to McDonald's more than you. Nobody.
No,
Every meal,
I agree
every
with that.
call. I mean,
don't go
every meal.
Every morning you're there.
Every morning goes to McDonald's
single
every day.
I do it. Oh, I go every day.
Is it?
Yeah,
How many
that's what I
times?
mean. That's a lot.
How many? Sometimes
I'm
twice
saying
a
in
day.
the next year I go 9 times. I
That's
go
high
9.
for me. I'm not going 9
Oh,
times
I mean
to
7
McDonald's.
times
Yeah.
a week. Seven
Yeah.
times a week.
That's what I mean.
Yes,
But there's a lot of
every
times
day.
though you go more than once a day.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm telling you. So it's
But I just
500.
get coffee.
But you go 500 times a year. That's a lot. 500 times a year. The most I'm at is 9. I'm at 9. Jake's at 4, and you're at 500.
I say 4 to 5 for myself.
So I said 9. You said 500.
Put it that way.
It is. Just do the math.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
You're spending $300 a month. Binge drinking is the most common form of excessive drinking, which costs the United States more than $191 billion each year. By drinking less, you will save $300 a month. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Of the Nebraska State Education Association. Research shows that children do a better job in school when parents are supportive. In Nebraska, parents have a long tradition of being involved in our public schools. That's one reason our students consistently score in the top 10 on national tests. Working together, we can help every child succeed.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid
knows it's dangerous. 5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Be a memory for your grandchildren. Among Nebraska adults age 65 or older, 47% report current alcohol use. Drinking too much can cause harm to children, family members, and loved ones. By drinking less, you will still be around for your grandchildren. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Join us each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon for Youth Football 101 with Tank Perry of the Nebraska Red Wolves of 7-on-7 football. The future of the sport depends on the foundation set at a young age. Hear those stories and more each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon here on 93.7 The Ticket.
My early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take, but it gave my mom and me more time to plan together.
Talk to your family about seeing a doctor. Go to alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Alcohol has strained our relationship. Drinking too much can cause harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. By drinking less, we will save our relationship. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Mike Minner. What's up, bro?
When you look at Dylan, you're looking at quarterbacks that kind of come around once every 20 years. And this is a kid I'm looking at, I don't know how old he is, 17, 18 years old. And he is already directing things that 17, 18-year-old kid should not even know. Changing the line protection. Okay, guys, I don't know where we've been 2 weeks of practice. Come on, man. Well, we got guys in the National Football League that can't do that.
On the block with Strick and Austin.
When you're in New York, Nick, in New York, I mean, you're talking about, you see mafioso types. You go into a restaurant and you would literally eat Hey, come on over here. You know, they I don't know how to say it. I don't got the accent, but they would say, come straight, come here, come over. Have a drink on me. And what are you going to do? Say no?
You not say
You
no
don't
to that?
say no to the drink. You don't say no.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to In the Trenches with myself, Harrison, on the board, and our special guest, Casey, who was struggling with the headset.
Struggling with this headset.
Bit of a Rubik's Cube, that one.
Yes, it is.
You're not the only one. You really are.
He's
That
got it.
happens
He's got
all
it.
the time.
So this is the last segment, and we are literally a week away from the NFL draft.
Yep.
How you feeling? How's the nerves? How's the waiting game?
Ready for it to be Thursday, right?
Yeah.
That's it. Start. Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah,
Ready for it
Thursday.
to be Thursday. It's been a long process. You know,
100%.
it's a lot of waiting. You know, it's at the point now where everything's out of our control.
Yeah, it's like the longest 3 weeks ever.
So like right after the season, we played on New Year's. So right after the season, I had a week before the Hula Bowl.
Mhm.
So it was pretty busy preparing for that. And then after that, you get 2 months before pro day.
Yeah.
You know how that training is. You
Right,
really
right.
just train to be a track runner
Mhm.
for 2 months. And after pro day, it's just get back into football shape and just wait.
It's so hard to get into football shape too,
I know,
because it's such a
especially
different
not, you don't know
thing.
what's going to happen either. So it's been a process, but you know we're a week away, so
Yeah.
we're there. You know, it's
It's going to be the longest week of our lives,
yep.
dude.
I don't. Yeah, it's gonna. Those 2-3 days are gonna be a lot of my screen time on my phone, or on like my phone and my iPad are just gonna be through the roof.
Oh yeah,
watching all of it. So
yeah. I'm I obviously, like I told on Tuesday, I told the guys or the people that were listening and watching, it's kind of like it's a very exciting moment, but it's also super nerve wracking.
Yeah.
And just like
I mean,
the waiting
it's-
game.
It's like you play football for this moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like every little kid dreams about being drafted and you know, having a shot to play in the NFL. But like what a lot of people forget is like it's nice to be drafted. Obviously, don't get me wrong, but like the goal is to get to the NFL.
Yeah,
you know,
it's not-
sometimes it
yeah.
doesn't matter how you get there. Just
Yeah,
as
and
long as
I mean,
you get there.
even like you said, it doesn't matter if you're drafted or a free agent or signed. It's like anyhow, if you make it to the NFL, it does not matter how you make it.
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, there's athletes there that you're going to play against, and they're the best in the world, and you just got to be prepared for that. Because no matter what you do, if you make it, you got to play against the best in the world.
Yep.
And so
you're competing for a job every day.
100%, and like there's people that are trying to take your job too.
Yep.
So
You got
'cause-
people playing and you're practicing against who need that job to put food on the table for their kids.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
It's a war every day at that level, and you know, I'm just excited to
have the
you know,
opportunity.
to
Yeah,
have that opportunity.
Same,
and,
same.
You know, I think to be able to live out my dream will be really exciting. So.
Do you have a idea?
Not really. You know, I've my agent and I have kind of worked out this thing where like I'm letting him really worry about that stuff, and I'm going to worry about the things I can control.
Yeah.
That's working out, getting in shape, and stuff like that. And I mean, obviously, I talked to a couple teams, or I talked to a lot of teams here, just in interviews and stuff like that. So those are the things I can control. Like I said earlier, it's out of our hands. So
100%.
I think I had a really good pro day. So
I saw that.
I think I had I put myself in a really good position to be
Mm-hmm.
drafted. But like I said, it's out of our hands. So
Right. Yeah, you did have I saw your numbers. You did really well.
Yeah, I mean, it was something I knew I had to do. I missed out on a combine invite, so I knew that was going to have to be my combine.
Mhm.
And worked too hard basically for 2 months not to produce. So had a really good day. PR'd everything I did. So it was really exciting. And then just to know that like there's nothing more I could have done. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like if I would have had a bad day and it was like, man, if I just ran a little faster, man, if I jumped a little higher, I maybe could have, been drafted or something. But like I literally put everything on the table. I
Mhm.
did everything I could, and can't complain about it. You know what I mean? Like I did everything I could. It's out of my hands now. So.
Right. I think that's like what a lot of people are like don't really understand. It's like you're playing the sport for so long, and like you get to this level, and like now you literally can't do anything.
Yep.
Like you can't, like you get asked, like I don't know, you do probably too, like get asked like, hey, like what do you think? Where are you gonna go? Like
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
No, there's no way to predict it.
And
Like you can have an idea about like where like your slot. Like I would say I'm a day 3 guy,
Mhm.
but that could be anything.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. So, I mean, same way. Like
yeah.
I've been told many different things.
Yeah.
And it's like you never
each
know.
team is different too.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
all it takes is one guy, to be
Yeah.
like, we like this kid a lot. Let's give him a shot.
Is there a dream team?
There's not. I mean, I just want a shot. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, if I had to like pick a team that would be really cool, it'd be probably Buffalo, just because it's really close to home.
Yeah.
My whole college career, I've played really far from home, so a lot of friends and family couldn't come to any of the games.
Mhm.
So it'd be cool, to either play in Buffalo or be on a team that plays against Buffalo a lot,
Right.
because that way I could be back up in the Northeast and have family friends come to those games.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I'm same way. I haven't had family really at
Yeah, I
games
mean,
either.
They might have a game over there sometime. They
They
started
actually
going
do.
over the.
They
Yeah, I
actually
was
do.
going to say, don't they go to Europe a lot?
They got one in Brazil,
got in
Eagles,
Brazil.
Packers.
They
Is
got-
there another one in Germany?
Oh, there's 3 games.
Oh, that's right. There is. There's a
They
big
have
slate of games
so they
in
have
Germany.
they have 3 cities in Germany. They have Frankfurt, Munich. Can't remember the other one.
And you're from Frankfurt, right?
Yeah, well, around Frankfurt. I always say Frankfurt because nobody else knows anything.
You would say
but-
Frankfurt.
well, I mean, I live like 45 minutes north, or like 40 minutes north of Frankfurt, but like it's
Yeah.
all literally villages.
Dude, how about the time I called you with in my class with that my
Oh
German
yeah, I remember
friend?
that. I remember that. I was
had-
so confused.
Yep. Context. I had a classmate who was from Germany, and I was like, I had played with a kid from Germany, and then she was excited. She said, "Oh, call him." So I FaceTimed Nouri, and then all of a sudden they just started speaking German. I
Yeah,
had
it
no
was pretty
idea what
funny.
was being said, but they were having a great time, and pretty funny.
I remember that. That was pretty funny.
That was like a year ago.
It was so random
I
too.
just
'cause
called
it-
him out of the
it's
blue
like,
one night.
No warning, no nothing, just straight up. That was pretty cool. That was
Yeah,
pretty
it was
cool.
funny.
If you went back to Germany, would you have a U.S. accent? Like, would people notice your accents changed at all, or no?
You don't have an accent, but like I have to think sometimes about like some of the words, because I've been like speaking English for 6 years now straight, and the only times I spoke German is when I speak to my family, and that's not often.
Yeah, and I guess the German accent wouldn't really be that noticeable. No, I don't know what a German accent even sounds like.
Well, I don't even know one German word. Like I'm trying to think. Like
9. That's probably the
Nine.
common one that
yeah,
everybody
9.
knows.
No.
Wiener Schnitzel, right? That's hot dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
a wiener.
I tried.
A wiener
Yes,
is a hot
there we
dog,
go,
but
yeah.
a Wiener Schnitzel is a veal like
all right,
country
it's
fried
food.
steak.
It's at least it's
food.
not
No,
like a
food.
body part that I just exposed myself.
It's pretty good food too. It's pretty good
Yeah.
food. No, you don't have an accent, but like my sisters, they correct me all the time on like words, but it's really hard to talk to like family and stuff because they're 7 hours ahead, and
Yeah.
usually like like the grind of college football, like you're always doing something, and the times that I had off would be nighttime there,
Yeah,
like
you
middle
got
of the
friends
night.
all over the map now. You got in Finland. You got your
Yeah,
home,
Nerds
Germany.
International.
You really are.
Yeah.
Truly.
Mr.
but-
Worldwide.
Miss Worldwide. But no, we actually had a guy from he's from Florida, but played overseas after college or
Yeah.
like after high school, college-ish, and played overseas, and he played in Germany, played in Finland.
That German league's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It
when we
is.
were at the Hula Bowl, there was some scouts there,
Yep,
right? Yeah,
for
Yeah,
the
it was
for the
pretty cool.
ELF. Well, I mean, the D-line coach for the other team, for Team Kai, was he's a head coach in Germany,
Oh, that's sick.
and he coached for he was a head coach for the 49ers for a little bit too.
Yeah.
And he great Jim Tumsel,
I mean,
great, phenomenal.
sounds like an elite opportunity.
100%.
The NFL doesn't work. Yeah,
there's
pay me to play and live in Europe.
and like
Sure.
you get paid, housing is paid for, cars paid for, phone bills, everything is paid for.
The only issue is I would have no idea what anyone is saying to me.
But the thing
My
is,
lack of German.
everybody speaks English.
Oh,
So like no matter what, like no matter where you go, like obviously like the old folk, we have
Yeah.
those people that barely speak any
I
English.
would be a big English guy over there.
Yeah, oh yeah. They know that you're English. They know that you're American. There's not many people that look like you
It'd be one of
over
those.
there.
They'd say something in German, and I'll just be like, "Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
Thank you. But to get back to the German accent,
Yeah.
there is a German accent. Have you never heard like?
I mean,
seen-
I when I hear German, it's just
when you hear German, okay,
it's just
fair.
like
I was gonna say 'cause
can't
you-
really translate.
you've seen, like-
German speaking American.
you've
I don't
seen,
know
like-
enough people.
Are you serious?
I know
You've never
you.
seen like movies that have. I don't have much of an accent, but like there's some
Dude,
people.
Was the guy
You
who
definitely have an accent.
Don't stop.
was the guy in the Chernobyl movie? Is he German?
Which movie?
Chernobyl or not Chernobyl? That's the Oppenheimer. There we go.
Yes. No,
He's
he was,
German?
he was Russian, I believe.
Russian,
Maybe.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
Oppenheimer?
Albert Einstein wasn't there,
Yeah.
and he's German.
He's German.
I guess that's not a super strong accent. I guess I don't think about it that much.
I mean,
Heidi
the biggest thing.
Heidi Klum is German.
Heidi Klum is very German. Yeah, that's
I like
there
how
you
you pulled
go. There
that
you
one
go.
out of your
Well, of
bag.
course, that's the one.
Well,
yeah,
not for
the blonde supermodel. Yep,
Yeah,
there
I
you go.
only know her because I went to
'Cause
a
it-
wax museum not too long ago, and she was there.
Really?
Well, not her actually, but her
Fair enough,
wax
fair enough.
figure
And
was
wax
there.
form.
Yeah,
In
fair.
wax.
Yeah, crazy. No, but like the biggest thing like you notice with German speaking English is the. They don't say the.
Does he get?
Z-
Learned that
no,
one
it's
yesterday?
it's like
I'm not even
it's
gonna
like
try.
it's like whenever they're trying to say yes, they'll say yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Very good. Yeah,
Yeah.
very good.
Very
yeah.
good.
I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you go.
perfect.
Big,
Yeah,
big
what are
guy.
we doing?
He's-
How did we
he's-
miss that?
He's
guy?
Austrian. Similar language, but
I'll be back.
I'll be back. I actually just listened to the Jason Kelsey and Travis Kelsey's podcast with him
Yeah.
on the treadmill this morning, and I was listening to it.
He's got great State Farm commercials. I'll shout out. That's the one State Farm commercial I'm not tired of yet. Like
But,
a good name.
Get to the chopper.
No, he's. I mean, he's done it all too. I mean,
Yeah.
being California as governor, that's crazy. Being international, being a governor of a United States state.
Who wouldn't vote for Arnold Schwarzenegger? Let's be honest.
Yeah, but still, I guess it's crazy like to think
Like
of.
he's a Terminator.
It's a crazy. It's
If
a crazy
all
thing
hell
to, like,
breaks
think
loose in
about.
your town, he's
He's
walking
there.
weapon.
To get back to like because we don't have much longer here.
Yep, and we do got one from YouTube if you want to dive into
Oh yes,
it.
let's dive in.
This one is for Casey. He says, "What does Oregon do well off field that you think would help Nebraska if they adopted it into their own football program?"
Yeah, I mean, good question. First things first, I don't really know much about the new staff
That's fair.
in the
Yeah.
stuff they do. So, one thing that I think was different at Oregon than at Nebraska when I was playing there was I would say we did this thing called Get Real, and it was pretty cool because it was once a week, every Wednesday we would all sit down in a room and we'd talk about something that is not football. We'd talk about whether it would be something about life. So one time it was about like our why, like what's our why do we play. You break up into small groups, you have a different position coach in each room, and you just sit around and you talk. You learn about where some of the kids come from. You learn things about your teammates that you'd have no idea if they didn't share, and you just ultimately you become close. Like our four pillars, our DNA traits were connection, growth, toughness, and sacrifice, and those were everything we did had to do with those four pillars. They were our DNA. So that was part of the connection piece. I think we were close at Nebraska. Like I will say, like we were very close, but I don't think we did enough team activities outside of
That's
the
what Coach
building.
Rule brought in a lot.
And yeah, and I can tell just by seeing on social media.
Yeah.
But I think it really does, like when you know what your teammates like next to you, why they're playing and what they're playing for, it makes a difference. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
It brings you guys closer to get together, and it just makes the team stronger. That's one thing. The thing about college football is a lot of teams do the same thing, right? So
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think there's one or other than the Get Real. I don't really think there is anything that one team does better than the other in terms of outside of football. But yeah, I would say just a connection piece. I think we were close, but we could have been a lot more close together. The thing about Oregon is my best friend was an O-lineman here at Nebraska. I mean, I was good friends with the O-line, but I didn't see him outside of the building. They were, a lot of times your position groups hang out with just their position groups.
Who's your best friend?
Jackson. I'm talking about Oregon.
Oh yeah, because you said Nebraska.
Oh, my bad. Clarification. At Oregon was Jackson. We do things outside of the building with the O-line, and it was overall just I knew my teammates a little bit better there, and it's because of those conversations that we had that were very deep, very there was no filtering it. It was really like where kids came from, their childhood, things they struggled with, things they've been through, and we just talked about it. And you have a huge amount of respect for people when you know what they've been through, when you've been able to walk in their shoes. So I think just the connection piece was pretty.
I think that's a big important part for like college football is like the vulnerability
for every sport.
Yeah, like,
Hey, you
just
can even go
for
pro
any
leagues. It matters a lot.
team, any type of team, not even sports only, like in general, like any type of team where you can be vulnerable in a way to like show your other side a little bit, like because I said that I think who was it with? I can't remember. I think with Chance, like you're a whole different person when you're playing football and you're on like the team, and being able to like show the real you is something that like helps out a lot.
Or just like, dude, just to like learn things that like guys have been through that you would have no idea. Like,
100%.
I had a teammate who lost his dad in a shooting in a mall, like one of those mass shootings up in Portland, and he lost his dad. Like that's something that like, and he never talked about it. So I would have had no idea. So like, obviously the kid was, playing for his dad. Like when you know what the person next to you was playing for, like you want them to succeed just as bad as you like, they want to succeed. So it's a really cool thing we did. Like I said, it was called Get Real, and it was something if I ever become a coach that I will be implementing in my team.
That's a pretty cool thing. Just to obviously just like a little clarify with like the new staff, we brought it into like a lot of like team activities.
I've seen you guys going out of the movie theaters like twice now.
Yeah.
So I'm on my way in. So I know you guys are out doing stuff.
It's fun too, and it's like doing those things like with your boys. It's like something that it's what I miss right now. You know what I mean? Like I've been away. I've been away only for two months, really 3 months, and it's like football practice. I'll be able to practice again. I'll be able to play again. But like what I won't be able to do is be in a locker room with my family. You know what I mean?
That's a really big thing.
And like be in a locker room or be able to go to the movies or be able to we would have position dinners out and at different restaurants, go out to D-line dinner or like just be around the boys again. Like it's a family. Like it really is. Like you spend so much time with them. You're basically there 40 hours, 50 hours a week with them. And then you don't see them again. You're gone and you're not a part of that group anymore. You're just an alumni. So it's that's for the hard part is kind of that and just feeling totally institutionalized. Like when I was living in Eugene after pro day, I kept finding myself in the facilities, and it's like my wife was like, "Why are you there? Like you don't have to be there anymore." And it's like, well, Maya, like I've spent the past 6 years of my life every day in that facility doing the same exact thing 7 days a week, and now now I just don't know what to do in my free time. Like, and I think that's a lot of things. I think that's what happens to a lot of athletes. Like you do so much at one thing that, and then when it's gone, like you just don't really know what to do with yourself. You don't know what to do. Yeah. So like I would find myself attending D-line meetings that I didn't even have to be at, or like, I would just find myself in the facilities every day. And I would tell Darian Daniels, I'd be like, dude, like, I know I don't have to be here, but like I get anxiety not being here because I just feel like I'm missing. I feel like I'm missing something. You know what I mean? So
all of like winter conditioning, what they had, I'd always be in there, and like they'd be like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "I don't know what to do with myself anymore." I'm just a
normal man.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm a NARP now.
Yeah, for a couple months, but it'll be nice to be back on a team.
100%
doing things.
Well, this was a very, very special episode. This was in the trenches with myself, Harrison on the board, and our super special guest, Casey Rogers.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me.
Of course.
GBR. Go Ducks.